This car here is a special one, not only because it looks straight out of a movie, but it is the make that truly made me dive into the world of supercars as a kid. This here is a 2015 LP610-4 Lamborghini Huracan, and it is a piece of machine that I truly wish I could one day add to my everyday carry. Other than making you feel like you are in a fighter jet, the interior Lamborghini has specifically designed for this model is super busy and has aircraft-like buttons everywhere. And having this white on red spec with interior red stitching just truly puts the icing on the cake for it. The tech that this 7-year-old car packs up is still very impressive, from these huge metal shifters that shift instantaneously to this center console that packs most of its tech. I like how Lamborghini has dedicated this car to their drivers, and believe it or not, it's really not that hard to drive, which is why for me personally there's nothing like a naturally aspirated V10 engine. It feels and sounds mean, and I enjoy every single second I get to floor it. For me, this car is not only about its looks, but about the driving experience it's able to deliver in every single mode, to the point that it gets insanely scary if you launch the car. Plus, it packs my tech back quite well, so I can fit more than just my everyday carry within. But with that, it's emotionally hard to give room to my iPhone 13 Pro Max simply because the car as a whole delivers more than music to my ears. Although, outside of this vehicle, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is a go-to. Bluetooth connectivity within any vehicle or with any device has been by far more reliable than my XS Max, and battery life is just overall insane. So going places with my backpack and my phone is just super convenient, to the point that I don't need a battery pack because I bring an Anker charger everywhere with me. Yes, including Jan's office. Since it's been a while that the new iPhones don't have a charger brick, I think the Anker quick chargers are such a good brick replacement. In fact, this year is my second unit. I've used their very first gen for a couple of years now and it's still going strong. But with the amount of devices I carry now, it's good to have a couple of them in your bag. So the first charger is responsible for the iPhone, which does drain itself faster when using its cameras. With that, its telephoto lens, ultra-wide lens, and wide-angle lens deliver a super impressive image quality in my opinion, mostly if you shoot RAW and edit on Lightroom. And filming the Lamborghini with the help of the new cinematic mode was quite fun as well. Although I just wish this feature filmed in 4K instead of 1080p. Yet, the 4K video quality, whether it's in landscape mode or portrait mode, still delivers its charm. Plus, a full charge has been lasting around 9 to 10 hours of constant use. Quite impressive for a phone that packs peak nits of 1200, a screen that delivers a dynamic 120Hz refresh rate, and speakers that pack a punch. Overall, such a dream item carry for me. On the other hand, the second charger is responsible for the iPad mini, and it's quite impressive that the mini can be carried with one hand. Yes, it's that small. Although, don't let it fool you because it now has Apple Pencil support. With a great design, new buttons at the top, USB-C support, and great speakers.
You're right. Who knows what game they'll have us play next? It wouldn't hurt to be in a group so we're ready for anything. Hey.
This can be the ultimate iPad for note-taking, but I'll make a full dedicated video for it early in November. Just comment #mini if you want to see it. Landscape mode does feel pretty natural and I haven't had any issues consuming content with it. In fact, I do enjoy the 8.3-inch display and I haven't found it small at all, almost to the point that it hits that sweet spot when it comes to using it in portrait mode. I'm just thankful that this year Apple got rid of the top and bottom bezels. Just know that at 500 nits, this screen might be able to cause you some problems outdoors as it is not that visible, although it's just not a device I found myself using outside much. Front face camera is great and the wide angle looks absolutely awesome, but I think the cameras are going to benefit a lot of you who want to scan documents. To save you some money, the Logitech Crayon is such a nice addition if you are doing remote education, going to college, or simply as a quick note-taking tool. It makes it easier to sign documents, use apps such as GoodNotes, and have the flexibility to mark up compositions on the go. I find it so nice how the pen is made out of this aluminum tube that really makes me feel comfortable when it comes to throwing it in my bag. Plus, the rectangular flat design feels super nice, mainly when your middle finger rests on it. It does charge via the lightning cable, which constantly delivers a full 6 hours of battery for me. The battery indicator is super easy to use and the pencil does automatically power off after 30 minutes of idle time. I also enjoy the fact that this crayon is compatible with all the current iPad models with pencil support. Palm rejection works as always, but I find it surprising it doesn't use Bluetooth at all. Quite glad because I don't need to deal with connectivity issues. Just don't expect it to be able to use it while it's charging. Regardless, as my everyday carry item, I love the way it writes with this tip and I finally get to avoid having it roll away from me. While a pen is nice and all, I do enjoy using a keyboard to browse the net, and we do have a solution to that from our sponsor, Logitech. The MX Keys Mini is a keyboard that fits so well in my bag. Unlike the full-sized one, this makes it super easy to bring a keyboard around with you everywhere. And don't worry, even though this is an aluminum frame, it really isn't heavy at all at 506 grams to carry around. This does come with its own little USB-C cable, which comes in handy if you want to use your fast chargers to charge the keyboard. Although, with a battery life of around 10 days and up to 5 months with backlighting turned off, you won't need to charge it often. But for me personally, I do enjoy using the backlit keys, which automatically turn on when it senses your fingers. And if your everyday carry consists of carrying around 3 devices, you can pair them all and switch rapidly when needed. I know it's small in size, but the smart function keys do work on all devices, and we finally get an emoji key to make you seem a bit less dry when texting people. Just make sure you're not texting in class, but if you are typing though, these keys are really not that loud, so you won't be bothering an entire lecture at all. Plus, I truly enjoy the way these plastic keycaps are shaped to accommodate your fingers with a good amount of travel to them that makes me type faster. Regardless, the mini factor is exactly why this is a dream item for me. All because I've been able to carry this around to go from my home studio to my editor's office, and as a whole, this truly simplifies my creative life when I am working on all of my devices, which also means that no matter where I am, I get to use Logitech's option software to have my own tailored experience. So controlling the brightness, changing devices, managing your playback, and even locking any of your devices is possible with this little guy here. However, with the Logitech MX Anywhere 3, I don't need to keep my fingers on the screen at all times. This here can be considered as the MX Master 3 little brother, but in a much smaller and lighter size. So you probably guessed it right, perfect for carrying it around. It does look very premium and it matches the nicer and more expensive vibe of the MX Master 3. It has a great side grip, the same scrolling technology as its big brother, and some nice side buttons that are programmable through the Logitech software, although I personally enjoy using them as a redo and undo. The left click and right click buttons have minimal travel and are a bit louder compared to the MX Master. Now, we know that this is an everyday carry item, so not having a mousepad won't affect you because it slides quite well on a lot of surfaces, and since it's small in size but has this nice little palm grip, I do enjoy bringing this mouse wrist rest around. I'm sort of used to it now, so not having it feels quite weird. Plus, it's perfect in size and does feel nice when resting your left or right palm on the MX Anywhere. Regardless, with USB-C support and the ability to pair this up to 3 devices, it really makes this an enjoyable piece of tech to bring with your MacBook. This here has been a laptop that's been fighting with my Razer Blade 15, not only because it is portable and light, but because it can provide the right amount of power for its size. I use it on the go to develop Lightroom pictures, have meetings, and code small Node.js apps, although I always need to carry adapters with me. But the battery life on this thing is just unbeatable with overall 10 to 12 hours of use, so bringing this with me and throwing it around in my bag doesn't scare me at all. I haven't put a skin on this, and even though it's been practically everywhere with me, the scratches on it are very minimal. The speakers on this thing are insane, and the trackpad MacBooks have are just on another level compared to any laptop in today's market, but I do wish the keyboard was a bit more like the one on the XPS 13. Also, you don't necessarily need the most expensive M1 configuration, but for what I do, I am rocking a 16GB model with 512GB of storage in silver. Although, with the new MacBooks that Apple have just recently announced, I am very much excited to see if it can fully replace my Blade 15 and deliver the power needed when editing on Premiere Pro, so expect an unboxing and a full review. On the other hand, my unboxing knife of choice is the brass minimalist knife by Groovemade. This here is one of the best carry items you can have with you. The blade is held closed by friction and held open by placing one's thumb on the end of the tang. It feels premium and heavy, and you can always adjust the amount of friction you want to preserve when opening or closing the blade. I mainly use it to open boxes, adjust my cage, or for simple small things like opening key holders. Just careful because this katana-like design blade is very sharp. The box previously opened does contain my watch of choice, the GSchock G2100. Although my current model is the skeleton version, mainly because the black one is for a giveaway I'm currently running on Instagram. But for me, ever since I saw Peter McKinnon wear one, I knew I wanted to have the skeleton GA2100 as my first watch. I do have small wrists, although this 45mm dial doesn't look too big on me at all. My only issue with this color is that the bracelet does become dirty with time. I mean, I wear it often, which is to be expected. I did buy a Casio mode to change things around, but it makes my wrist look too small, although the watch itself looks really freaking nice. And on top of that, making the change only took a few minutes. It's always nice having third-party brands delivering full kits for mods like this. Big fan of the watch face, but I think it's time to get a second watch to diversify my little watch organizer. Maybe a Submariner or a GMT could be cool, although I do want to break the ice and finally get an Apple Watch. Now, to complete my personal wearable accessories, I'm currently using Paco Rabanne's new fragrance for men. This here is a 100ml phantom bottle, and yes, it's a little robot that can surprisingly be connected to your phone. I do now have this chilling on top of my PC to complement my desk, and because it smells too good, I enjoy keeping this in my room. If you're a fan of sweet scent colognes, I think you might really enjoy this one. You should try it out. Regardless, if I'm going around, having this little guy in my front back pocket is quite nice. It is made out of glass, so if you're going to be throwing it in your backpack, please be careful. Next to the front pocket, you'll also find, in my opinion, the best earbuds ever, the AirPods. I really haven't had the need to change or upgrade them at all, and keep in mind I'm still rocking the Gen 1 AirPods, meaning that I have been owning this exact same pair since 2016. They still work like a charm, sound great, and battery life is surprisingly still really good. A few weeks ago I did get scared since I thought these were broken. After leaving them charging on the anchor block for a whole night, I realized the issue was the wire, and that's why they were still out of juice. Quite glad that was the case. I do recommend to rock your AirPods on a case, so if you drop it like I did when I first got them, they'll always be protected. All of these everyday carry items are packed in this Coach bag. Now, this is a pretty expensive bag which was given to me by my girlfriend's parents. It has been a dream to own a bag like this, mainly because it's such a high quality backpack. It is spacious enough that it contains a laptop compartment, has pockets inside pretty much everywhere in the main compartment to store things like your keys, knife, mouse, and so on. Plus, the material they used inside of it feels like a silky type of cloth. The bag itself does have great straps and overall made out of leather with a bottom strip of Alcantara. I do enjoy using this little arrow to clip my AirPods, but my favorite thing about this bag are the colors and how well the zippers are made. I am so happy I finally got an excuse to incorporate a car into the channel, mainly because I'm a car nut and I've been wanting to produce a video with a car. I cannot thank enough Logitech for allowing us to have the budget to film this video, and I truly hope you guys have enjoyed my first EDC video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite item is. I will see you all gamers next week. Take care.